Louisiana. But this whole Farm Bureau that he's going to talk to, it's kind of now overshadowing the border visit. Like, the border visit was a big thing, and the border visit kept everybody focused on one thing, and that was the wall, because it's all about the wall. We need to make sure that we have border security. We need to make sure we keep the drugs from coming in. We need to make sure that these violent criminals stop coming into the United States and killing us, because no one wants to die. I don't. I'm sure okay, I don't want to be presumptuous. The majority of us probably don't want to die, and that's one of the reasons why border security is so important. But now that Donald Trump is going to talk to the farmers, I feel like it takes the issue of the wall and kind of dilutes it a little bit. Now it's the government shutdown. Now it's the impact on the people, not just the government workers. Because we knew the direct impact of the government workers. We knew that the government workers weren't going to get paychecks. We knew they were going to get furloughed. We talked on Friday about how they're eventually going to get their money. And in the meantime, like the Coast Guard said, you could hold a yard sale. By the way, side note, and I want to get into this a little bit more later on, but I did this weekend some of the things on the list that the Coast Guard, remember last week we talked about how the Coast Guard, in an effort to aid their active duty members who were being furloughed and who were going to miss their paycheck, in an effort to make sure that those people who were going without money had money, published what I thought was a very helpful handout on how you can make ends meet in the meantime. And it talked about getting interest-free loans, and it talked about making sure your finances are straight, and talked about how to deal with creditors. And one of the subsections was, here's a way to make some extra cash. Number one, have a yard sale. Or a garage sale if you have a garage. Some people have garages, you have a garage sale. Some people don't, they have yard sales. Either way, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Another thing was sell high-ticket items or more expensive items on something like Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to tell you, I did this weekend for 2 reasons. Number one, because my wife told me to clean out the garage and we had a bunch of crap we didn't need anymore. And also I wanted to see just how easy or difficult it was. And I took a bunch of pictures on my cell phone and I posted them on Facebook, like literally from my garage. And by the end of the day, I had sold $250 worth of junk. Not junk, good quality stuff, but just stuff that I no longer needed and that somebody else desired. And we made the transaction, and within 24 hours, I'd made $250. It's really, it's pretty simple. Facebook, you can do anything these days. Let me just tell you can do anything these days on Facebook. It brings people together. People show up at your house with money, and they say, yeah, I'll take that ping pong table you never use. And boom, you have $100 in your pocket. Now, $250, it's not an entire salary, but it's enough to make a car payment or pay your utilities or, get some groceries for a week. And it's just one thing that they suggested to do. Another thing they said was, what if if you're not working, if you've got some time off, why don't you walk dogs or babysit or house sit? And I'm thinking to myself, that's great. If I'm sitting around the house anyway, I might as well sit around someone else's house and get paid for it. Also, probably because their house is way nicer than mine. And I can eat their food and watch their cable and play Fortnite on their Xbox and, all that kind of stuff. But one of the other things that they said was, hey, why don't you take a hobby of yours and turn it into a business? And this is something I'm a huge proponent of. Taking a hobby, especially with the internet, and turning it into a business, it's so easy these days. Like literally, my wife a year ago wanted to start a subscription box with all the stuff you get at all girly pink stuff. And she bought a bunch of girly pink stuff that smells like cotton candy and she put it in a box and she started advertising it. And boom, a year later, she's got 300 monthly subscribers who pay her for this box of pink smelly girly stuff. And it was just a hobby of hers. Everybody online, or not everybody, but a lot of these internet entrepreneurs basically just said, hey, what am I good at? I knew a guy who had a hot dog stand. And not only that, but he had one hot dog cart, and then he bought another hot dog cart, and then he opened up several, he had a dozen hot dog carts. So he wrote a book about how to start your own hot dog cart business, sold the book online, made $60,000. And there's another guy, this guy's a millionaire. He wanted to learn how to jump higher. He wanted to increase his vertical jump because he played basketball. So he started doing these weird exercises and stretching out his arms and running around and hanging off the rim and, sleeping upside down like a bat with a bowling ball tied to his. I don't know what he did. I'll be honest with you. I don't play basketball, so I don't care. But he made these YouTube videos, and you got this huge, following of these people who all wanted to increase their vertical leap. And eventually he wrote a book or put together a course or something and sold $6 million worth. $6 million worth of a course to teach people how to jump higher. Don't tell me that you can't turn your hobby into some kind of part-time business to make money. Anyway, so this Coast Guard thing got ripped down, as we discussed last week, and I just think that's the biggest travesty. When you have an organization saying, look, we understand there's a problem, and we're trying to help our members, and people attack them for that, and force them to take that information away from people who may need it, and force them to apologize for helping keep people above water in a time of crisis. I mean, what is this world even coming to? But I feel like the longer and this is one of the problems that Donald Trump is going to face this week and going forward. Now, we've got the issue of the wall and the issue of border security turning more and more to the people being affected by the government shutdown. And it's not just the government workers anymore. Now it's the farmers. The farmers, the Farm Bureau, a lot of information about meteorological, outlooks and crop estimates and pricing and that kind of. There's farm reports that come out every single day from the government, from the Farm Bureau, from the Department of Agriculture, from all these places. Do you remember in Trading Spaces when they went to intercept Clarence Beeks to get the farm reports so they could know whether or not to buy high or sell low on orange juice, and they made everybody. It was a great movie. Basically, that's the same thing. These farm reports, make and break the farmers, and that's why it's so crucial that the government reopened to help them out. So Donald Trump, knowing this and realizing that 24 days without this information is now taking its toll on rural workers and farmers who really make up a big part of his base, is going to head off the problem. But this is where it's really going to get tricky, because the farmers aren't government workers. It's no longer just the government workers. He's now putting a face, and he's putting a visual, and he's making it a point to draw attention to regular, average, ordinary, hardworking Americans who probably voted for him that are now being negatively affected by the government shutdown. That's where it's going to get tricky. And that's where you're going to start seeing some cracks. In fact, Lindsey Graham, who had a backbone for a couple weeks, apparently turned it back in, because he's starting to say, hey, maybe we reopen the government temporarily and we try to negotiate with the Democrats, which, I mean, there's just no negotiating with Democrats. It's the biggest oxymoron since, the jumbo shrimp or Army intelligence. 855-765-1045. I can make that joke here because it's a Navy town, by the way. 855-765-1045. We got to take a quick break. We got some of your open mic messages. We'll get some of your phone calls here in just a minute. It's the Mark K Show on News 104.5 WOKV.
He's informative, entertaining, you might even say funny. This is the Mark K Show on News 104.5 WOKV.
Now, the three big things you need to know.
Millions of Americans are digging out after a powerful winter storm dumped several inches of snow and ice from the Midwest to the Mid-Atlantic. The House and Senate are back in session today as the partial government shutdown enters its 24th day. Jacksonville cops investigating several shootings across town and an armed robbery from over the weekend.
Tomorrow morning on Jacksonville's Morning News.
It's Rich Jones. Chief meteorologist Mike Burris continues to track below average temperatures at least through the middle of the week. The end of the week warming trend, and when we see our next storm system every 6 minutes when you get up with us.
Tomorrow morning, starting at 5 a.m. on News 104.5 WOKV.
You worked hard for years. You've given everything to your company. But the minute you get injured at work, your employer shows you something you never saw coming. They care more about the money than they care about you. They will say you got hurt somewhere else or you already had that injury. We see employers try to sweep an injury under the rug and offer to pay you directly if you'll agree not to file a claim. Don't fall for it. Instead, come in and talk to one of our workers' comp law specialists here at Farah & Farah. We know all the laws that are designed to protect you. In recent years, under pressure from the insurance lobby, the legislature has made it harder to fight these workers' comp cases. So some law firms won't even take them. That's not how we do things here at Farah & Farah. Your consultation is free. Farah & Farah, protecting you and your family since 1979. Call us at 396-5555, Jacksonville.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur. Payroll doesn't seem that hard. It's just pay rate times hours worked, right? Sounds easy enough. Well, payroll is easy as long as each employee's tax withholdings are properly set up and as long as you don't shoot yourself in the foot along the way. But payroll can be punishing for business owners like me who will assemble their kids' toys without reading the instructions first. We don't need to read instructions unless we're desperate. That's why Patriot Software offers payroll setup and support for free for businesses with up to 100 employees. Go to patriotsoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of payroll free. That's patriotsoftware.com.
With patriotsoftware.com. Accounting and payroll. Keep your time and money.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Some lawyers take the last offer on your case for many reasons. That could mean way less money than you deserve and way less than you should have gotten. Most settlements start with the insurance company offering less. The problem is some lawyers need the money even more than you do, so they just take it and tell you that that's the most you can get, but not us. We try more cases than any other personal injury firm in the country, and the insurance industry knows it. Visit forthepeople.com and download our free verdicts magazine. For 30 years, we've helped hundreds of thousands recover what they deserve. Bullies only understand brute force. Every day, we drag their asses, kicking and screaming, to courtrooms throughout America. If you're injured and need someone to fight for you, call us. Dial Pound Law on your cell phone. Pound 529. Pound Law, that's all. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South makes windows that are energy efficient and hurricane resistant. You get both. If you have aluminum windows, it's time to get rid of yesterday's technology. New South is the factory and eliminates the middleman. Don't even think of buying windows until you see what our factory can do for you. New South windows are made in Florida, for Florida homes, by Florida workers, because we know Florida weather.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get the third free. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
I really couldn't play golf. I couldn't even walk very far.
Here's Nancy Anderson to talk about her experience with Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
I chose Southeast Orthopedic Specialist because of the reputation of the different surgeons and the hospital experience, and just overall, I'd heard so many great things. And truly, my life is enriched tenfold because now I can do anything.
Get your body moving again with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Find out more at se-ortho.com. Wakeoff's AC brings you the 5-day forecast. When your AC breaks, they get there fast. Now, the WOKV First Alert Forecast.
Becoming mostly to partly sunny today. Cooler temperatures top out only in the lower 60s. It's an 8 on the WOKV weather meter. A chilly night tonight under clearing skies into the upper 30s and partly to mostly sunny tomorrow. Your Tuesday high near 60, bit milder for Wednesday with sunshine and near 65. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish for News 104.5 WOKV.
Now, Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic.
Arlington drivers on the East Beltway southbound. I'm looking at the traffic maps now, and you're delay-free. Getting from Heckscher over the Danes Point Bridge and down to JTB will take you 11 minutes. Beaches drivers on JTB, both east and westbound, you're also moving freely, just 11 minutes between A1A and I-95. This report is brought to you by Racetrack. It might be cold outside, but the coffee at Racetrack is guaranteed to be hot and fresh. With Racetrack's new machines, you can get a freshly ground, freshly brewed cup of coffee by just pressing a button. Presto, hot, fresh, and ready for your drinking pleasure. Racetrack, whatever gets you going. With Jacksonville's most frequent traffic, I'm Brian Riley.
Connect to WOKV with one simple phone call. Grab your cell phone and dial **1045. That's *1045. We'll send you a link to listen live. Download the app, check the radar, and much more. This is where Jacksonville turns first for news, weather, and traffic. News 104.5 WOKV.
You give a mouse a cookie and he wants a glass of milk. And that's exactly how those Democrats are going to act if Donald Trump gives in and brings the government back up without making them do the right thing.
Yeah, I love that book, by the way. If you give a mouse a cookie, that was one of my favorite books when my kids were little. And then there was, if you give a moose a muffin, if you take a cat to the movies or something. There were a whole bunch of them. Maybe we should write a new one. Yeah. If you give the Democrats a cookie, then you'll never get your law. 855-765-1045. This is the Mark Kaye Show. Happy Monday, everyone. By the way, we're streaming live right now on Facebook if you want to check us out. You can see the studio. You can see what's going on. You can see my big bald head. I'm wearing my Mark Kaye Show t-shirt today, so you can actually see my big bald head twice because It's on my T-shirt as well. And if you are watching on Facebook or Twitch or anywhere else, by all means, give us a share, comment, give us a like, help spread the word so that we can grow our audience as big as humanly possible and then, slowly but surely take over the world. World domination. That should really be everyone's goal. And, and that's kind of the problem, too, I have with this whole issue with the Coast Guard taking down this list. And people really, the internet trolls, as much as I love the internet, I hate the internet. I love the internet because I can go there and have anything I want delivered right to my house. I can go there and find photos of pretty much anything at all, obscene or not. I can go there and interact with people or stalk people that I haven't seen since high school and vice versa. And the other great thing about the internet is that we can take this show and we can broadcast it to people all over the country and even all over the world. But as much as I love the internet, I hate the internet because there's people out there that will bully you on the internet and use their forces to get their will. And if they don't want the Coast Guard suggesting babysitting to help their furloughed members make more money, then they will make sure that that is taken down. And in a way, to me, here's the thing. This is no longer a battle, and I don't think it has been for a while. I think with Donald Trump coming into power, with Donald Trump coming into the White House, we saw less of a Democrat versus Republican battle than we did a capitalism versus socialism battle. And if you think about it, even the campaign, when you looked at what you had Donald Trump, the ultimate in capitalism. Donald Trump, the dude's a billionaire. He's a real estate billionaire. He had a show called The Apprentice where he basically, the whole goal was just for these people to make as much money every week as possible. And if you didn't make the money, what happened? You were fired. This is a guy who eats, everything is gold plated at Donald Trump's side. I mean, you look at Trump Tower, it is a bastion of gaudy, excess. But that's the American way. And then on the other side, you had Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders, who wanted free health care, who wanted free schooling, who wanted to spread the wealth around, who wanted to raise money, raise taxes on the rich. The more money you made, the more they wanted to cut you down. It's anti-capitalist. It's socialist, if you would. And I think that as we've continued through Donald Trump's presidency, we've seen more and more of that pop up. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez getting elected in New York. Prime example, New York, Donald Trump's home state, the Bronx, where Donald Trump made his billions, has given birth to this young woman who is demanding that 80% of taxes on the rich go to the government so that they can pay for pretty much everything. Electric cars for everybody. Could you imagine if the tax man came to your door and said, give me 80% of your income so we can buy electric cars for everyone in the entire country? That would definitely make you move out of the country to go to some, I see more and more people moving to the islands, and I don't think it's because of Donald Trump. I think it's because they want to keep their money. They're afraid of what the Democrats are going to do. It's now, you're either and I tell this to my children too, because they always say, are we Republican? Are we Democrat? And I always say, you know what we are? We are capitalist. We go out there and we believe that if we work hard and if we have good ideas and if we are creative and if we persevere and if we give our all and if we're good people, then we will make money. If we help others, then we can help ourselves and we can build a business, and whatever money we make, we want the ability to keep as much as possible. And we want the ability to say where it goes and what it's going to be spent on and how we're going to invest it or how we're not going to invest it. And if we want to hoard it in a mattress under our pillows, that's fine. If we want to invest it in a bank, that's great. But we will do with what is ours. And we will get what is ours based on our own creativity, intelligence, and ingenuity and physical output. I believe more and more that we're seeing capitalism versus socialism. And even if you look at the Republican Party, the big major splits that we've seen between Donald Trump and some of the never-Trumpers, Donald Trump and the rhinos, it's been all over money. And as we continue to go through as this whole border battle, this whole wall fight, what's it about? It's about money. Donald Trump wants the money. The Democrats don't want to give it to him, even though they have billions. They want the money for something else. More free schools, more free education, more free health care. They don't want people. They don't want people who are furloughed, figuring out how to make money without the government. They want them sitting at home demanding the government reopen, and they want that to be the only way those people have a chance to earn an income. 855-765-1045. It's the Mark Kaye Show. Quick break. We'll be right back on News 104.5 WOKV.
is News 104.5 WOKV. Do you have glaucoma or high eye pressure? Are you forced to use daily eye drops? If so, this message may be for you. Local doctors are conducting a clinical research study of an investigational dropless therapy, and they're looking for participants right here in this area. To qualify, you must have glaucoma or high eye pressure in both eyes and have not had surgery for your glaucoma. If you qualify, you'll receive study medication at no cost, along with study-related exams by an eye doctor throughout the study. No insurance is needed, and there's no cost to participate. Compensation is available for your time and travel, but space is limited. To see if you qualify, call 844-3-MY-EYES or visit myeyecarestudy.com. If you have glaucoma or high eye pressure, don't miss out on this exciting clinical research study. Call 844-3-MY-EYES or visit myeyecarestudy.com. That's 844-3-MY-EYES or visit myeyecarestudy.com. This is News 104.5 WOKV, where Jacksonville turns first for breaking news, severe weather, and traffic alerts. On air, online, on every device with the WOKV app.
Live team coverage starts now.
Good morning, Jacksonville. It's 10:30, and I'm Stephen Ponson. Our top national story, President Trump's on his way to New Orleans for a speech to farmers. The group Washington insider Jamie Dupree says is the most impacted by the partial government shutdown.
On this 24th day of the partial government shutdown,
the Republicans are rock solid.
President Trump again blamed Democrats for the impasse, even as Senate Republicans refused to vote on bills to reopen the government.
We have a priority. It's the safety of our nation.
The president again said today he could declare a national emergency to build his border wall, but says Congress should act instead.
Jamie's breaking down the impacts farmers are seeing from the shutdown in his blog at WOKV.com. Just in within the last 30 minutes, Governor Ron DeSantis has nominated Judge Robert Luck as his second of 3 picks to fill empty seats on the Florida Supreme Court. Luck is a judge on the 3rd District Court of Appeals in Miami. Last week, DeSantis named Barbara Longoa to the Supreme Court. It's unclear when he will fill the seat. Turkey's pushing back after President Trump threatened to devastate their economy if they ever attacked U.S.-backed Kurdish forces in Syria after American troops leave the country.
Turkey's foreign minister saying nothing can be achieved by threatening Turkey economically. He added, partners should not communicate over social media. A Kurdish militia, the YPG, has been working alongside American troops in the fight against ISIS, but Turkey views it as a terrorist group. Simon Owen, Fox News.
And saying he's been tough on Russia, President Trump's pushing back on a report which said the FBI was investigating whether he was working on behalf of Russia against the U.S. interest after FBI Director James Comey was fired. WOKV News Time is 10:32. Coming up, when you might need a jacket if you have any plans outside, and more of the Marquez Show next.
Partial government shutdown.
There is a growing humanitarian and security crisis at our southern border.
Much of what we heard from President Trump throughout this census shutdown has been full of misinformation.
This situation could be solved in a 45-minute meeting.
This is where Jacksonville turns first for breaking news. News 104.5 WOKV.
Thinning or balding hair? IHRS can now stimulate hair growth and reverse thinning hair for both men and women by using your own stem cells through platelet-rich plasma treatments. You will obtain rapid new hair growth through your own stem cells by using your own blood through platelet-rich plasma. This is a safe and easy procedure with no downtime. Now you can stimulate hair growth and obtain healthier and more hair as early as 3 months after one treatment. For more information, call IHRS at 904-731-7331. That's 904-731-7331. Results may vary. Now you can stimulate hair growth and reverse thinning hair by using your own hair stem cells through platelet-rich plasma in your frontal hairline, crown area, and entire top of your head. This is a safe and easy procedure with no downtime. For more information, call 904-731-7331. That's 731-7331.
Hey, it's Mark K from The Mark K Show. Couple things. First of all, thanks so much for making WOKV your #1 station. And thank you for tuning in to The Mark K Show, the fastest growing talk show in Jacksonville. And that's not fake news. I want to return the favor. I want to help you grow your business too. So let's work together. Contact General Sales Manager Bob DeBloy at 245-8732. That's 245-8732. Get your business growing by teaming up with me, Mark K, and The Mark K Show. Call 245-8732. That's 245-8732.
Do you have glaucoma or high eye pressure? Are you forced to use daily eye drops? If so, this message may be for you. Local doctors are conducting a clinical research study of an investigational dropless therapy, and they're looking for participants right here in this area. To qualify, you must have glaucoma or high eye pressure in both eyes and have not had surgery for your glaucoma. If you qualify, you'll receive study medication at no cost, along with study-related exams by an eye doctor throughout the study. No insurance is needed, and there's no cost to participate. Compensation is available for your time and travel, but space is limited. To see if you qualify, call 844-3-MY-EYES or visit myeyecarestudy.com. If you have glaucoma or high eye pressure, don't miss out on this exciting clinical research study. Call 844-3-MY-EYES or visit myeyecarestudy.com. That's 844-3-MY-EYES or visit myeyecarestudy.com.
Now, the WOKV First Alert Forecast.
An 8 on the WOKV weather meter, becoming mostly to partly sunny today. It'll be cooler than what we had over the weekend. Highs in the lower 60s, clearing chilly tonight in the upper 30s, partly to mostly sunny tomorrow. A cool January day, but nice. The high around 60 and sunny Wednesday, a little bit milder, near 65. With your First Alert Forecast, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish for News 104.5 WOKV.
Now, Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic.
St. Johns County drivers on I-95 northbound, you're free and clear. Getting from State Road 16 at the outlets all the way up to the Beltway will take you 16 minutes. Getting onto the East Beltway northbound from there, you're also delay-free. 7 minutes will get you from I-95 through the construction zone before Bay Meadows and up to JTB. With Jacksonville's most frequent traffic, I'm Brian Riley.
Now, the 3 big things you need to know.
State Fire Marshals investigating what started a fire at a home on Diamond Leaf Court on the west side. Police say one person inside the home eventually died. The House and Senate are back in session today as the partial government shutdown enters its 24th day. Jacksonville police are investigating 4 shootings and an armed robbery across town this past weekend. Police didn't indicate that any of the shootings were related. It's 10:36. I'm Stephen Ponson.
I've got to get Mark K more time on the air.
Be careful what you wish for, Jacksonville. You just might get it.
We want us some Mark K.
Where entertaining meets informative.
You make it easier to go to work knowing I get to listen to you for 2 hours a day.
Local stories, local issues.
Just call it like it is. You are standing solid on truth. I love your show, brother.
This is the Mark K Show on News 104.5 WOKV.
Hey, by the way, yesterday, New York City was the annual No Pants subway ride, where people dress up in all their regular clothes, except they take off their pants, and they ride around on the subway. They go to work on the subway or whatever they're doing on the subway. And it was cold, too, man. It was not warm in New York City. I didn't wear pants on my way to work today either, but it was just me in my car, so it wasn't really that. There was a lot of photos online about this. A lot of people tweeting photos of people they see on the subway without pants. They're not the kind of people you want to see without pants. It's like when you go to the nude beach and you get all excited until you realize people that go to the nude beach, they're not like the ones online. They're not like the ones in the movies you used to watch when you were in college. They're totally different and much older and fuller people. 855-765-1045 is the number. Let's go to Mary, who's been waiting very patiently in Dinsmore. Mary, thanks so much for calling the Mark K Show. How are you?
Oh, I'm great today. How about you?
Great. Happy Monday. What'd you want to say today, Mary?
Well, the one thing I don't understand, we need the wall so bad, I can't understand why the administration did not build it during the first 2 years while they had a Republican majority in the House and Senate.
Republican majority, quote unquote. That is, you know what? A lot of people have asked that. A lot of people have said, in fact, we got an open mic message that was a very similar statement to what you were saying right now. He was saying, hey, Donald Trump had 2 years. 2 years. Why didn't he get off his butt and do the wall? Why did he mess around with taxes? Why did he mess around with, where is it? Here it is, right here.
President had the House of Representatives and the Senate. Maybe he should have taken care of that then, instead of worrying about the big tax cut and worried about dismantling Obamacare. This is on the president.
Yeah,
Trump shut down.
He's saying he should have taken care of it then. But I think the issue is you had, and thanks so much for your call, Mary, and your question. I think the issue is Donald Trump had a lot on his agenda. Number one was the economy and the wall. Well, number one, I guess, was the wall. Number two was the economy, and number three, we're bringing jobs back and redoing all of our trade deals. And if you look at it, he did a lot of those things. Now, I think the biggest mistake he made was not campaigning for representatives in the last election. He campaigned for the Senate, which, you know, a lot of good that's doing you. But he didn't campaign for the House of Representatives, and he lost it. So now he's not going to get his stuff done. But let's be honest, too. He wasn't getting any border wall funding from Paul Ryan either. He wasn't getting border wall funding from the House of Representatives when he was the president. You know, he came in and never done this job before, decided to start with things that he knew he could get done, like the tax cut. You know, the tax cut is important. It boosted the economy. It gave everybody more money. As you go out now to start doing your tax refunds, you're going to realize that you're probably getting a lot more back, or you paid a lot less last year. Either way, it's more money in your pocket. Do you remember when all those companies, this one that we work for included, got their massive tax cut, and instead of reinvesting it, they shared it among all of their employees? Walmart did it. Home Depot did it. Lowe's did it. A ton of companies took that money and said, hey, this is found money. We're going to divvy it up and we're going to give it back to the folks that make us run. You know what happened here at our radio? We were all shocked. We're like, wait, what? You're giving us money? That seems weird. So that was a huge plus, and that was a good thing, and it gave people hope, and it stimulated the economy. And you can see that in the Dow Jones, and you can see that in the economic indicators, and you can see that in consumer confidence, and you can see that in job growth and unemployment being down, which is basically, you know, job growth. But the fact of the matter is, the wall was not an easy sell even to Republicans, because a lot of Republicans don't like Trump either. That back to my thesis for the day, which is we're no longer Republican versus Democrat, we're capitalist versus socialist. And anyone who's super capitalist and believes that people should have economic freedom and they should have financial liberty, they should be able to make the money that they want to make, that they can make, as long as they're doing it honestly and you know, without breaking any laws. Those people should build those businesses and earn that money and pay their employees what they want to pay and invest in what they want to invest in, and send their kids to college or not, go on vacation, don't go on vacation, buy a car, buy a computer, buy really good health care, or go without. It's your choice, because you are free to choose your way of life. That's what a capitalist society is like. Then you've got the socialists who are like, you know what? Why don't we take all the money and divvy it out among people equally? Why don't we give everybody equal amounts of health care? Because, you know, some people are they just can't flat out afford it. They could if they created a business or got a better job or, you know, took advantage of opportunities. But they don't. They just want to go to the government and say, give me free health care. You know, the public school system is part of this problem, too. And we're going to talk here in a minute about this new bill forcing Florida public schools to offer Bible and religion classes. You need to have a law now to force schools to teach religion. Why? Well, because it's a public school system, and everybody's got to be treated equally. And since we have Christians and Jews and Muslims and Wiccans and agnostics and atheists and people who worship, you know, I don't know, weed, I think the marijuanagens, whatever they call them. We've got all these different sects of religion. You've got to treat everybody equally, which means you just wipe out any semblance of religion whatsoever. And that way you don't offend anyone in the public school system. So that's where those are the two sides of the aisle. And Donald Trump, a lot of people say he does things Republicans hate or gawk at. He's no Republican. He used to give, you know, money to the Clintons. Well, that's because he's a capitalist. And when you're a capitalist, you've got to grease the palms of those people in power, or else you're not going to make any money. And if you're a socialist, you just want to take all the money from everybody and divvy it up among everyone separately. So you've got to figure out going forward where you are. And it's going to make elections very difficult. And it's going to make these battles between Democrats and Republicans very difficult. Because it's all about who's going to run the country, the capitalists or the socialists. And more, that's where the line's going to be drawn. Hey, thanks so much for calling. That was a great question. I really appreciate it. 855-765-1045 is the number. 855-765-1045 is the number. A lot of people are still saying, look, this wall is important. The border security is important. Donald Trump, don't give up.
I don't know. I just went and bought some stuff yesterday, and I still paid taxes. This ain't going to hurt the farmers. This is all just scare tactics. Keep it shut down. Build the wall.
Yeah, Donald Trump going to New Orleans today to talk to the farmers, talk to the Farm Bureau. It may be that when he gets there, he'll find that the farmers are on his side. I mean, look, the farmers are an interesting breed of Republican, or an interesting breed of conservative, because they do rely on the government more than most, and they do need government subsidies and help more than most, and they also probably benefit, a lot of them, from illegal immigration, more so than most. But they're conservative for the most part. They're Christian for the most part. They love America, and they want to keep American values safe. So it's interesting to see how the farmers react when Donald Trump goes in there and says, look, I know the government's shut down and that's hurting you, and I know that I'm trying to curb illegal immigration at the border, which could actually hurt them too, but I need your continued support. So, like I said, it's not an easy job, but somebody's got to do it. And Donald Trump seems like the only person who seems to be willing. 855-765-1045. All right, this is we're going to take a quick break again, but when we get back, I do want to talk about this bill that is being introduced, or that was introduced last week. We didn't get a chance to talk about it on Friday because, the wall. But there's a Florida lawmaker. Her name's Kimberly Daniels, and she's an exorcist. She's a demon buster, and she happens to be a representative from Jacksonville. So you're welcome, the rest of the state of Florida, for sending you an exorcist demon buster. That's like our little joke on the rest of the state. But the proposed legislation would require state-funded school districts in Florida to offer religious courses in religion, Hebrew, the Bibles, offer them all as electives. You know what an elective, if you went to high school, you know what an elective it means. You can take it or you don't have to take it. It's not required to graduate. It's more of those common interests. Like people would take Latin as an elective, which I still don't get, but that was like a thing. Or you could take a vocational course as an elective to learn how to work on cars or auto body shop, or, even back then, home economics, which we talked about a couple weeks ago, was an elective before people realized it was, sexist or something. So these would be elective courses for kids in high school who want to learn more about religion, Hebrew scriptures, the Bible. But of course, it's causing a big stir, because religion, school, let's argue that. 855-765-1045. What do you think? Should there be electives for religious classes in Florida school systems? Should there be a law saying that, hey, in order to keep everybody equal, you've got to be able to offer courses that may interest the students, and some students may actually be interested in religion? 855-765-1045. We got a bunch of open mics we're going to play too. Quick break. More of the Mark Kaye Show coming up on News 104.5 WOKV.
Love listening to Mark, but can't every day? Good news. You can subscribe to the Mark Kaye Show podcast on iTunes or Google Play. Listen when you want, on the device you want. This is the Mark Kaye Show on News 104.5 WOKV.
Now, the three big things you need to know.
President Trump's on his way to speak to farmers in New Orleans today. The group Washington insider Jamie Dupree says is the most impacted by the partial government shutdown. A woman's dead after a house fire over the weekend on Diamond Leaf Court on the west side. State Fire Marshal's investigating why the blaze started. Baker County deputies are searching for two men accused of robbing someone they knew at gunpoint. We got the suspects' photos up right now in the free News 104.5 app.
The only station in Jacksonville that alerts you about severe weather every 90 seconds. When you hear these tones, WOKV First Alert Storm Center has been activated to keep you and your family safe and informed. This is where Jacksonville turns first for severe weather. News 104.5 WOKV.
An unreliable network can cost you money. That's why you need Comcast Business. Our gig speed network is fast, and we go beyond fast with the complete reliability of 4G LTE backup, which means that even if something like construction knocks out the power, you can still upload that presentation and not take a hit to your company's bottom line. For a limited time, switch to Comcast Business and get an amazing deal on fast, reliable internet. Get 75 megabit internet for $49.95 per month for 2 years when you add 2 voice mobility lines and sign up for EcoBill and automatic payment. Just one more way Comcast Business goes beyond other providers. Call 1-800-501-6000 today. Comcast Business. Beyond fast.
Offer ends 1/30/119. Restrictions apply. New business customers only. 2-year agreement required. Early termination fee applies. Equipment taxes and fees extra. Subject to change. Connection Pro backup limited up to 6 hours. Requires Comcast Business Internet. Offer price requires Eco Bill pay for this billing and auto pay through Comcast Business My Account.
Are you afraid of the IRS because you have unfiled or unpaid taxes? Most don't realize that having unfiled federal taxes is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year in jail for each unfiled return. With the IRS, it's never a question of if they'll come, but when. Don't live in fear. Call J. David Tax Law now for a no-cost consultation at 904-606-0009. That's 904-606-0009. Or find us on the web at jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. When our clients come to us for representation, I see way more than a client. I see me. When I hear someone has a herniated disc or a back injury, I think, what if that was me? How would that impact my life? I put myself in your shoes and in your life. When I look at your family, I see my family. This outlook makes my firm think differently than most. I understand that some injuries are forever, and forever is a very long time. For 30 years, we've helped hundreds of thousands recover what they deserve. $1 billion last year alone. Why? Because you are us. You are me. Every time we hear your stories, we feel like it's us. If you're injured in a car crash, slip and fall, or the victim of medical malpractice, call us because we care. Dial pound law on your cell phone. That's pound 529. Morgan & Morgan. ForThePeople.com.
Offices, Jacksonville.
When you get hurt, you feel like everything is put on hold.
Here's Hunter Scantling to talk about his experience with Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
When it comes to injuries like that, you gotta make sure you get the best advice, the best surgeon. And luckily, I was recommended to go to Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, and the office was awesome, very nice. Everybody there made me feel at home. Everybody's been spot on.
Get your body moving again with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Find out more at se-ortho.com. WOKV FM Atlantic Beach. Powered by New South Factory Direct Windows. Listen everywhere in the WOKV app. News 104.5 WOKV, a Cox Media Group station.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur. Congratulations, small business owners. You've made it into the new year. I hope you celebrated your accomplishments, but now it's time to get back to work. Start by honoring your New Year's resolution to fire your overpriced and error-prone payroll provider. Why not start the year fresh and let Patriot Software keep your payroll tax filings spotless from now on? Patriot Software offers payroll and payroll tax filings for up to 100 employees. Our payroll customers rate us 4.9 out of 5 stars. Now that's a New Year's resolution you can live with. Go to PatriotSoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of payroll processing free. That's PatriotSoftware.com.
PatriotSoftware.com. Accounting and payroll. Keep your time and money.
Now, the WOKV First Alert Forecast.
Makes it cloudy and sun, around 60 degrees, a little breezy and cool today. It's an 8 on the WOKV weather meter, clearing and down to 39 tonight. It'll be pretty chilly. Partly to mostly sunny tomorrow, the high near 60. Then a little bit milder Wednesday with sunshine, pushing temperatures into the mid-60s. With your First Alert forecast, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish for News 104.5 WOKV.
Now, Safe Touch Security First Alert traffic.
There's a broken down vehicle on I-95 northbound on the ramp to Dunn Avenue. It has the off-ramp right lane blocked, but not causing any delays getting by there. And on I-10 eastbound, I'm looking at the traffic backs now, and you're also delay-free. Getting from the Beltway over to the I-10 split is just 5 minutes. With Jacksonville's most frequent traffic, I'm Brian Riley.
The WOKV app just got an upgrade. Now, the 3 big things you need to know are in the palm of your hand. Get the all-new WOKV app now for Apple or Android. This is where Jacksonville turns first for breaking news, weather, and traffic. News 104.5 WOKV.
This is the Mark K Show. My name is Mark K. Thank you so much for joining me today, folks. We really appreciate it. Thanks for everyone who's calling in. Thanks for everyone who's watching on Facebook and Twitch and YouTube. And we got an open mic message that is pretty accurate, I think.
Hey, Mark K. Government worker is the biggest oxymoron of all.
I guess especially this week, because we're in day 24 of the government shutdown and no end in sight. Donald Trump going to New Orleans. Please disregard his tweet from this morning. It's he knew it started with an N. He's a busy guy. He's busy. There's snow on the ground. There's a lot going on. 855-765-1045. Let's go to Ed in Jacksonville. Ed, thanks so much for calling the Mark K Show. How are you, sir? Ed, you there?
Hey, Brian, hi. Ed Victoriani here. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. What's up, Ed?
Hey, just a comment regarding, religion being offered in Florida public schools.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. Go ahead. Yeah.
That's good, but I'd say put more emphasis and make it mandatory for everyone to take civics course in this high school. You know, and I'm an immigrant from another country who came here, and I'm really appalled by the lack of knowledge from our new generation on how this country was created.
Yeah.
And unless we put some emphasis on that, again, I would put what President Reagan mentioned in his last speech, that these countries exist and depend on how we educate our young people and how great this country is.
That's a great point. And civics, I think, look, you bring up a great point. Civics, I believe, is a mandatory course in high school, middle school, at least somewhere along the line, you are going to take civics. I took it, I think, in 7th grade, and then I think I took kind of a political science, American history type course in high school. It was a long time ago. There's a lot of history has happened since I was in high school. But the problem is, and I think you've touched on it a little bit, not that the students in high school, it's not that they're ignorant on civics and politics and history because they're not teaching it. It's because it's a public school. And I mean, there's so many problems with the public school system. There's so many distractions. There's so much of a lack of interest. There's so much of, there's so many discipline problems. It's tough for anyone to really zero in and learn what they should. Especially immigrant children who come in here, because I guarantee there's nowhere near the resources to take the time to help them learn everything they need to know about this country. My son, for example, like he will be watching Jeopardy, and there'll be some American history. He's like, what is he, 12? Yeah, there'll be some like American history topic or politics topic that comes up, and I say, oh, and he'll start answering these questions really quickly, and he'll get them all correct. And I'll say to him, where did you learn that? And he goes, from those Rush Limbaugh books you bought me. So, it comes, he's not learning in school, he's learning it in the home, because I give him the Rush Limbaugh book, he reads it, he learns about the American Revolution, he learns about the Battle of Bunker Hill, he learns about, how the Constitution was written, and how the, Declaration of Independence came to be, and why it's so important. There's other books that we give him, too, that, teach him about the country, and he and his sister, they come up and they say, hey, what's going on with these political systems? Why are, do we like Ashley Moody? Explain to me how these things work, and they take an interest in it, and I take an interest in telling them. So that's how you get the people involved. But the public school system, this is my big problem with religion in the public school system. Not that I don't think that religious courses should get a fair shake. If you've got a kid who wants to be, a religion major, or become, work in a church as a pastor or as a deacon or as whatever, even a priest, a rabbi, that's fine. Let them get some education in school. They're there most of their lives anyway. They should be learning stuff that they want to know, that interests them, that sets them on their path. My problem is, are they going to get the best education in a public school? Are the public schools even teaching the things that they need to know well enough before we get into these electives, and whether or not, it's stuff that are they really going to learn in a quality format, and are they going to get a quality curriculum? But a lot of people are flat out saying there should be no electives for religion classes in public school. Separation of church and state. I mean, it seems to me that it might be a good thing. There'd be positives, sure. Maybe if you teach kids, religious classes and, Bible passages and Psalms and things like that, they might have more of a sensibility to love thy neighbor and get along with each other and know the 10 Commandments. There's 10, right? Yeah. My kids know that. My kids go to a Catholic school, so they know everything. I know nothing about religion. If I have any questions, I go. And for example, the other day I said something, and they go, Daddy, you just broke the 8th commandment. And I'm like, could you be more specific? Like, I'm going through my head. I'm like, what did I do? Did I just commit adultery? I didn't do that. I was just sitting here at the kitchen table. And then I went back. I didn't want to look like an idiot in front of my kids. So I went and Googled it. It was like, I coveted my neighbor's ox or something. I don't know. It was like their car. But I was like, wow, that's a really nice car. I wish I had a car that nice. So they were like, don't covet. But my kids learn that in a parochial school. And my concern is if you start offering religion classes in school, in public schools, are they going to be any good? 855-765-1045. More of your calls, more of your open mic messages coming up. It's the Mark Kaye Show on News 104.5 WOKV.
Have you ever wanted to speak another language? Whether you want to speak Spanish, French, or German, Babbel's 10 to 15-minute lessons can get you speaking confidently in your new language within weeks.
I just started learning Spanish with Babbel, and it's really helping me with my pronunciation.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres? Haha, I got it. I'm amazed how confidently I speak Spanish now. I wish I had tried Babbel sooner.
Babbel's award-winning technology gets you speaking right away. And best of all, you'll remember what you've learned. No wonder Babbel is the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Try it for yourself and see why Babbel is the quick way to get conversational in a new language, like Spanish, German, Portuguese, and more. You can try Babbel for free. Go to Babbel.com or download the app and try it for free. That's Babbel, Babbel.com, or download the app to try it for free. That's Babbel.com. This is News 104.5 WOKV, where Jacksonville turns first for breaking news, severe weather, and traffic alerts. On air, online, on every device with the WOKV app.
Live team coverage starts now.
Good morning, Jacksonville. It's 11 o'clock, and I'm Stephen Ponson. Our top national story, the partial government shutdown drags on without a clear end in sight, and with Democrats and President Trump still at an impasse over funding for a border wall.
I'm Jamie Dupree in Washington on this 24th day of the partial government shutdown.
We have a priority. It's the safety of our nation.
President Trump again blamed Democrats for the lack of negotiations on border security funding.
The Democrats have to do something.
Democrats in the House have approved 6 different funding bills to reopen the government, but Senate Republicans have refused to act on any of those measures.
Jamie has full coverage of the impacts from the shutdown in his blog at WOKV.com. An 87-year-old man is dead after getting hit by a car Saturday night in St. Augustine. FHP says Alan Hoffman got into a car accident on State Road 16, and when he got out of the car, he was hit by another vehicle. The investigation continues, but no charges have been filed. A 26-year-old man also died over the weekend when his motorcycle overturned while going around a roundabout. It happened on State Road 13 south of Fruit Cove, and he has not been identified yet.
Breaking news first. This is continuing news from News 104.5 WOKV.
The Baker County Sheriff's Office is searching for 2 men accused of robbing someone they knew at gunpoint. Deputies say Jared Fama and Ricky Sanders were talking to the victim in North McClenny when one of them pulled out a gun and demanded money. The Sheriff's Office says they took off in a red Kia, possibly to Jacksonville's west side, and they're considered armed and dangerous. We've got the suspects' photos up right now inside the Free News 104.5 app, and if you see them, you're asked to call the Sheriff's Office. Turkey's brushing off President Trump's economic devastation threat made if ever they were to attack Kurdish forces in Syria once American troops leave.
The Turkish president's office saying Turkey will continue its anti-terror fight decisively. Turkey sees the Kurdish militia fighting alongside the U.S. in Syria as a terrorist group. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says talks have begun to establish a so-called safe zone to protect the Kurds. Simon Owen, Fox News.
WOKV News Time is 11:02. Coming up, we're going to check your drive if you're heading into downtown, and more of the Mark Kaye Show next.
Stay connected with the WOKV app. Listen to News 104.5 WOKV anytime, anywhere. Get the latest breaking news and share your thoughts using the open mic. It's simply the best. Download the News 104.5 WOKV app now. This is where Jacksonville turns first for breaking news, weather, and traffic. News 104.5 WOKV.
What happened? You used to go hours without visiting the bathroom. Now it seems like you're constantly getting up to pee, and you're even getting up at night to go. This is not okay. Listen, the makers of Super Beta Prostate, the #1 prostate formula, are introducing a new wonder pill, Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced, with 3 key ingredients that are great for your prostate. It's like taking 3 prostate supplements in one. To celebrate, we're sending free bottles to men who want to cut down on bathroom trips. Yes, your first 30-day supply is free. Pay shipping and handling. Call 1-800-215-1792. Early research suggests that an ingredient in P3 Advanced may help support a normal prostate size. Combine that with a reduction in urges to pee, and you have a formula you'd be crazy not to try. Get P3 Advanced free. Call 1-800-215-1792. 1-800-215-1792. 1-800-215-1792.
If you suffered a workers' comp injury, the fact is you have a right to proper medical care and lost wages. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Call 396-5555. Farah and Farah, protecting you and your family. Jacksonville.
All offers are with approved credit and not in conjunction. See dealer for complete details. Start something new sales event. Get off to a great start with a deal on any new vehicle in our lineup at Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Bay Meadows. Save up to $6,000 off MSRP on any new Charger or Challenger. Save up to $12,000 on a brand new Ram. Choose any car, truck, or SUV and pay thousands below what you'd expect to pay. Jacksonville Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram I-295 and Bay Meadows.
Thinning or balding hair? IHRS can now stimulate hair growth and reverse thinning hair for both men and women by using your own stem cells through platelet-rich plasma treatments. You will obtain rapid new hair growth through your own stem cells by using your own blood through platelet-rich plasma. This is a safe and easy procedure with no downtime. Now you can stimulate hair growth and obtain healthier and more hair as early as 3 months after one treatment. For more information, call IHRS at 904-731-7331. That's 904-731-7331. Results may vary. Now you can stimulate hair growth and reverse thinning hair by using your own hair stem cells through platelet-rich plasma in your frontal hairline, crown area, and entire top of your head. This is a safe and easy procedure with no downtime. For more information, call 904-731-7331. That's 731-7331.
Wakeoff's AC brings you the 5-day forecast. When your AC breaks, they get there fast.
Now, the WOKV First Alert Forecast.
An 8 on the WOKV weather meter with a mix of clouds and sun today. It'll be cooler with highs around 60 degrees, leading to a chilly night tonight as we become mostly clear down to 39. Partly to mostly sunny tomorrow. A high near 60, but a little less wind, and then a warming trend on Wednesday starts to kick in with sunshine and highs in the mid-60s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish, who joined me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 Action News Jax.
Now, Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic.
Heading into downtown from the north side on I-95 southbound, it's a delay-free drive. Getting from Airport Road over the Trout River Bridge and down to the I-10 split will take you 10 minutes. Continuing on 95 southbound from there, you're also moving freely. 7 minutes will get you from the I-10 split over the Fuller Warren Bridge and down to JTB. With Jacksonville's most frequent traffic, I'm Brian Riley.
Now, the 3 big things you need to know.
According to the AP, President Trump's nominee for Attorney General William Barr will tell senators that it's vitally important that Special Counsel Robert Mueller be allowed to complete his Russia investigation. Governor Ron DeSantis has named appellate judge Robert Luck to the Florida Supreme Court. Luck is the second judge from Miami's appeals court to be named by the governor. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says President Trump's threat to devastate Turkey's economy if they attack U.S.-backed Kurdish fighters in Syria shows America's commitment to its partners. It's 11:06. I'm Stephen Ponson.
I've got to get Marquet more time on the air. Be careful what you wish for, Jacksonville. You just might get it. We want us some Marquet. Where entertaining meets informative.
You make it easier to go to work knowing I get to listen to you for 2 hours a day.
Local stories, local issues.
Just call it like it is. You are standing solid on truth. I love your show, brother.
This is the Marquet Show on News 104.5 WOKV.
Why put religion in public schools? We have private schools for that.
Yeah, keep them separated. You want religion? Go pay for it. 855-765-1045. Look, this Kimberly Daniels, who's a Democratic representative from right here in Jacksonville, has introduced legislation which would force public school systems in Florida to teach religious classes as electives, meaning a child could decide to take it or not take it, just like they would auto body shop or home economics or Latin or I don't know, bowling. Isn't that like I don't even know what the electives are in school. They probably have a ton of crazy electives I've never even heard of, like YouTubing for dummies or whatever. But 855-765-1045. By the way, Representative Kimberly Daniels, she knows what she's talking about, too, when it comes to religion, because not only is she an exorcist, but she is a demon buster. I wonder if she's ever been slimed by a demon. Anyway, 855-765-1045. Should we allow public schools, or should we make it mandatory that public schools offer religion classes? Religion classes as electives. 855-765-1045.
Yeah, I really like the idea of that class, but I think it should be called cultural enrichment and not only teach religion, but also cuisine and habits of the people around the world. And that will create more educated generations in the future.
What kind of cuisine would constitute like Catholic cuisine? Like bread and wine? I guess, yeah, but then you're taking away from the religion. Then it's just a cultural class, which I'm all about, having more cuisine and better cuisine in school. But that's not the point. The point is, if you want a religious education, if you want some kind of secular education, you should be able to get it if you can't afford private school, if you're in public school. That kind of thing. 855-765-1045. This is Neil in St. Mary's. Neil, thanks so much for calling the Marquet Show. How are you, Neil?
I can weigh in on a religion for school easy enough, but yeah, that's fine.
All right, well, go ahead. What do you want to say?
I know when I was going to school, we had something called religions of the world.
Mm.
And it was about a number of different religions. So you're not necessarily talking about Christianity. Of course, I'm a Christian. I prefer to talk about Christianity exclusively. But, hey, religions of the world touches bases with all of them. And really nobody has anything they can complain about other than atheists and agnostics. So.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Hey, thanks so much for calling. Look, I went to, I've been Catholic my whole life, and probably in my previous lives, although Catholics don't believe in that. But I've been Catholic my whole life. I'll probably be Catholic in my next life, too. And until I get it right, they're just going to keep throwing me back in that church. But I remember growing up, I'm going to be honest with you, what I know about the Catholic Church and what I know about Catholic teachings and doctrines and things like that, I don't think that the Catholic Church wants anybody else teaching Catholicism. I may have to call my priest and get him on the show, but I just don't believe that Catholic leaders, the bishops and the priests and that, I just don't think that they're going to be happy handing over the most important part of their duties, which is religious education of the young. I don't think they're going to be happy handing that over to some teacher in a public school system in Florida or like a substitute. I mean, come on, what if she calls in sick and they have a substitute come on and they're going to teach you thousands of years of Catholicism, St. Augustine and all that kind of, there's no way. There's no way. Excuse me, what's the Trinity? Isn't that a superhero? I don't know. 855-765-1045. Martin in Callahan. How are you, Martin? What do you want to say?
Hey, I'm good, Mark. How you doing today?
Good, man. Happy Monday. What's your take on this religious education as an elective?
If they opened up the religion to the schools, teaching the Christian, whatever, what's from stopping that from opening other types of stuff like the other atheism and other type of religions,
They're gonna. Here's what she's proposing: Hebrew scriptures, which would be Judaism, courses in religious and Bible electives. Now, atheism, I don't think you have to teach, do you? What? That's a great class. That's my kind of class. You walk in, and the teacher says, "Hey, we're going to learn about atheism." Okay, cool. Just don't believe in anything. You all get an A. That's all we're going to do? Yes, I don't believe you. Congratulations, you graduate cum laude. That's 855-765-1045. I actually took a class that was similar to that. I took a class in college called Reading and Discussion. Swear to God, it was a pass-fail course. And I went to the professor, I said, what exactly is reading and discussion? And he goes, well, we give you a book and you read it. And I go, okay. He goes, then you come to class and we discuss it. And I go, really? That's a class? He goes, yeah. So I went. I didn't read any of the books, but I discussed them. Got an A. That's all I'm saying. Rebecca from downtown, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing well, Rebecca. Thanks so much for asking. What do you want to say about religious classes in public school as electives? Not mandatory classes to graduate, but as electives.
The only thing I think about that is then they'll use that as an opportunity to teach Muslim religion and force it down our kids' throats, and try to convert our kids to Muslim religion, which is really sad.
Well, I mean, it's an elective, so your kid would have to choose to take it. I mean, if you're a parent, you're going to sit with your kids probably and say, hey, if you want to take, study of Islam, why? We're Catholic or we're Protestant or whatever. But it's an elective. Again, it's not a mandatory class. So it's not something you can actually force down somebody. You can't say, hey, you can't graduate without studying Islam, without getting a Quran. 855-765-1045. WOKV, hi, who's this?
My name is Martin Goodall. I've got a question about our radio reception here in South Carolina.
About the radio reception in South Carolina?
Yeah, we used to get you on 690, but we can't get you anymore.
Oh, yeah. Fun fact, 690 is now ESPN Sports Radio.
I understand that, but I don't want sports radio. I want Marquee.
Well, I appreciate I appreciate that. Have you tried streaming us live on the internet at WOKV.com?
Yeah, but that's a little awkward. We found you on there. That's how I got your number.
Yeah, no. All right. Well, hang on. Hang on. I'll register a complaint with the programming department. They don't want sports. They want Marquee in South Carolina. Thanks so much for the call, man. We appreciate it. Yes, we did make that programming change. For those of you who are not yet aware, we have News 104.5 WOKV here on 104.5. But the AM signal is now ESPN, featuring Brent Martineau at 3 o'clock with Action Sports Jacks. Is that right? Did I say that right? And see, I got the memo. I read my email occasionally. Max at Middleburg. Max is maybe, where's Max? No? I don't know. Oh, Max, are you there? Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hey, Max, what do you want to say?
Yes. You're talking about teaching religion in school. They've been forcing Islamic stuff in Florida for years. The teachers have.
Really? I didn't know that. I didn't know they were forcing Islamic education on students. I mean, look, again, my kids, they go to Catholic school, so they don't learn anything about Islam. And in fact, they learn religion as the core of what they teach in Catholic schools. And that is definitely that's a choice you have. If you're a parent, you can choose to send your kid to a school where you're the client, basically, and you can go in there and you can say, hey, here's what I want my kids to learn. Here's the kind of stuff that I want them to be, that I want them to basically be turned on to or inspired by, and that kind of thing. So and I know a lot of people are like, hey, we can't afford public school, and I get that too, or we can't afford private school, so they're forced to go to public school, and that's why these laws and things are always up for debate. 855-765-1045 is the number. 855-765-1045 is the number. This is the Mark K Show. We'll be right back.
Don't want to miss a minute of the fun of the Mark K Show? Listen live everywhere you go in the News 104.5 WOKV app. This is the Mark K Show.
Now, the three big things you need to know.
As the partial government shutdown's in its 24th day, President Trump set to speak to farmers in New Orleans. The group Washington insider Jamie Dupree says is the most impacted by the shutdown. According to the AP, President Trump's nominee for Attorney General, William Barr, will tell senators that it's vitally important Special Counsel Robert Mueller be allowed to complete his Russia investigation. Governor Ron DeSantis has nominated Judge Robert Luck as his second of 3 picks to fill empty seats on the Florida Supreme Court.
Traffic's bad enough on normal days.
I was probably about 15 minutes behind.
It is bad.
WOKV Advantage. First alert traffic every 6 minutes in the morning. We're helping you avoid the delays, find the alternates, and get to work on time. This is where Jacksonville turns first for traffic. News 104.5 WOKV.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. One of the most common and life-altering injuries that we see after a car crash is a herniated disc. Often it causes a lifetime of care, injections, and surgeries. A life where the most simple enjoyments become painful struggles. But insurance companies often refuse to pay for these injuries. They say disc herniation is no big deal, but we know the truth. We know how life-altering a disc herniation can be. We've won millions of dollars for clients with disc herniation because we know how devastating these injuries really are. If you have a herniated disc after a car crash, call us. You can reach us by dialing pound law on your cell phone. That's pound 529. Pound law, that's all. It's easy to remember and even easier to get in touch with us. If you're injured in a car crash or at work, call us. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Offices, Jackson.
Save big with a free energy savings blast package from American Window Products. Visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
American Windows, the window professional.
Stem cells and platelet-rich plasma, or PRP, are being offered as safe alternatives for joint replacement, pain management, and a host of other medical conditions. How can you be sure you get verifiable live stem cells with PRP for your most effective treatment? Well, stem cell experts Dr. David Heekin, Dr. Louis Obi, and Dr. Kenneth Eady provide the most advanced live stem cell therapies and PRP at the Pangenics Regenerative Center here in Jacksonville. Millions of your own verifiable live stem cells are retrieved and injected into your area of need in a licensed medical center carefully monitored by approved institutional review boards. You can rest assured that you will receive attentive care and expertise with our specialized doctors of orthopedics, plastic surgery, pain management, and internal medicine. See the stem cell experts. Call now for your complimentary appointment at 904-399-0905 or go to stemcellsurgeryflorida.com. Pangenics, where the art of human experience meets the future of medicine. Call today, 904-399-0905.
If you suffered a workers' comp injury, the fact is you have a right to proper medical care and lost wages. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Call 396-5555. Farah and Farah, protecting you and your family. Jacksonville.
At Planet Fitness, you can get down with your judgment-free self. Join for only $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment. Now through January 15th. With a deal like that, what have you got to lose? Join in club or online at planetfitness.com.
See club for details. On February 17th, the stage will be set for racing's greatest day, the Daytona 500. A day that delivers four-wide excitement, legendary moments, and unforgettable finishes. A day that keeps you on the edge of your seat and that you'll remember forever. The greatest race awaits. Experience the thrill of the Daytona 500 in person. Guarantee your seats before they sell out at Daytona500.com.
The WOKV First Alert Forecast.
Makes it cloudy and sun around 60 degrees, a little breezy and cool today. It's an 8 on the WOKV weather meter, clearing and down to 39 tonight. It'll be pretty chilly. Partly to mostly sunny tomorrow, the high near 60. Then a little bit milder Wednesday with sunshine, pushing temperatures into the mid-60s. With your First Alert Forecast, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish for News 104.5 WOKV.
Now, Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic.
There's a broken down vehicle on 95 southbound before University. It's over on the right shoulder, not causing any delays. Getting from the I-10 split over the Fuller Warren Bridge and down to the Beltway will take you 13 minutes. If you're headed down towards St. Augustine on I-95 southbound, it's incident-free. 16 minutes will get you from the Beltway down to State Road 16 at the outlets. This report is brought to you by the Extragen Temporal Scanner Thermometer. Cold and flu season hits hard, especially for the millions living with heart disease, asthma, or cancer. A fever can be a sign of the flu and a trip to the ER. Hospitals prefer the Extragen Temporal Scanner Thermometer. Backed by more than 70 clinical studies, it's the best way to stay safe this season. With Jacksonville's most frequent traffic, I'm Brian Riley.
The debate rages on.
They're coming to our border and they're saying, we expect you to take care of us.
This is national security.
Use the open mic inside the News 104.5 app and let your voice be heard.
There should be no walls, no borders.
Fund the wall and stop the blame game.
This is where Jacksonville turns first for ongoing coverage of the partial government shutdown. News 104.5 WOKV.
We have a viewer live on Twitch. Cider or LA Cider. I don't know, or Lacketer. I don't know how you pronounce these things, but anyway. And they wrote, first time I've caught your show. Seems interesting enough. Like, you know what? That's all we can ask for. We just want the show to be interesting enough. We're not looking to be the most interesting people in the world. We're not looking for like, wow, just interesting enough to keep you listening. 855-765-1045. Also, Lecider commented, according to the Pew Religious Landscape Survey, atheists made up 3.1% of the population and agnostics made up 4% of the U.S. population. Religious courses would tread on them. That's according to the Pew Religious Landscape. So, of course, I just responded, pew, pew, pew. because it's Twitch, and that's what it's all about. It's all about video game. No, but look here. I don't think it would tread on anybody because it's an elective course. Like, you know, it's like, for example, they have cooking classes, right? Well, if you struggle with weight loss, a cooking elective doesn't tread on you. It's just, you don't have to take it. You know, don't do that. If it's like an auto body repair course, or, you know, the, what do you call it? The vocational courses. If you don't like building things with your hands, it doesn't tread on you. It does no issue for you that somebody else is interested in that. If you are interested in God or Catholicism or religious studies or Judaism or the history of religion or spirituality or any of that stuff, by all means, sign up for the elective course. If you're like God schmod, don't, you know, go take something else. Go take a cooking class, you know, and or just skip school altogether. Because really, if you don't believe in, you know, God or religion, then, you know, you just why bother with all the other stuff? Why bother with the history and the literature and the Spanish? It's all, just don't believe in anything. 855-765-1045. But you'll save yourself a lot of time and effort and money, man. Just skip college altogether, too. John, thanks so much for calling the Mark K Show. How are you, John?
Pretty good, Mark. You?
Good, man. What did you want to say?
Just that I wonder if these young, bright entrepreneurs that we got in our country are going to stop and think, why would they ever want to start a successful business and make a lot of money as soon as they do, and the Democrats want to take it all?
Yeah.
I think that would dampen anybody's, you know, wanting to go out and really be successful.
Yeah, 1,000%. 1,000%. In fact, the best time to start a business is right now while you have Donald Trump in the White House. Not a Republican, but a capitalist. When you have a capitalist in the White House, that's the best time to go out and start a business. So if you're an entrepreneur, and they know, entrepreneurs know, they're rolling in it right now. I mean, they've got freedom. They're building businesses left, right, and center between the internet and brick and mortar and the tax breaks that Donald Trump is handing out, and between, you know, the fact that that these social systems are going to be met with all kinds of vetoes by Donald Trump. There's going to be no socialized medicine by the time Donald Trump's out. There's going to be no Obamacare. That'll be the next thing to go. There's going to be a lot of things that you're not going to have to subsidize with your tax dollars, and the economy is going to continue to go up and up and up and up. So if you want to start a business, now's the time to do it. And I'll be honest with you, I study entrepreneurism. I have a lot of my own side hustles, as they call them. I do a lot of public speaking. You know, radio's fun. It's not my only thing. And the more I learn and the more I see from people and the more I study these really big, important figures in the entrepreneurial society, people who go out and teach others how to start their own businesses and how to be self-sufficient and how to have multiple streams of income and invest in real estate. The one thing that everybody I see more and more is saying is don't go to college. College puts you at a disadvantage from the get-go. You invest so much money in college, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 in a lot of cases for 4 or 5 or 6 years of college. You borrow that money at a rate of interest. When you start your life, when you graduate, when you get out of business school and you start your life, you are starting in the hole by $200,000. And the average job is only going to pay you $60,000 a year. And when you take out your rent and your money and your food and your gas and everything you need to survive, you're left with very little. You're never going to dig yourself out of that hole. And anybody with student loans can attest to that. So people, you know, they always talk about the bubble, the housing bubble. Remember that when that exploded? The tech bubbles. People are saying, oh, Apple's done. And there'll be no more iPhones. The tech bubble's about to explode. No, you know what the next thing's going to be? It's going to be the education bubble. It's going to be the education bubble. And all of these high-priced universities and colleges, they're going to start going bankrupt. It's already happened. You're already starting to see some of these online universities, the College of Phoenix, for example. You know, there's other prominent ones that are starting to come up and bubble up and offer 1 course, 2 course, red course, blue course, couple $100 here, couple $100 there. You don't need to pay tuition. You don't need to pay room and board. You don't need to pay $50,000 to have some stuffed shirt who's never done a thing in his life except read books and regurgitate the information back to a room full of hopeful, hungover college students. You know, you don't need to pay for that education anymore. And a lot of folks more and more are recommending that you don't. Take the money you would spend on college and invest it in starting a business. and you'll be happier and healthier and wealthier, and you won't have to worry about paying back all that debt. You won't have to worry about the government paying for your health care. You won't have to worry about the government subsidizing you. You won't have to worry about any of that. And you'll have this great opportunity to learn real-world skills like starting a business, which, quite frankly, they don't teach you in college. I don't care where you go to school. I don't care if you go to Wharton. I don't care if you go to the Harvard School, whatever it is. They don't teach you how to build a business in college. Where do they teach you that? When you go out and try to build your business. You can take all the radio courses, all the communication courses you want, but you walk into the radio station for the first day, and I speak from my own experience, they teach you exactly how they want you to do it because it's their company, and I don't care where you went to school. This is our thing. You're going to do it how we tell you, or you're going to get the hell out. 855-765-1045. We got a ton of Brian, Jan, Jamie, Chris, Steve. Hang on. We'll get to you next. We'll be right back. It's the Mark Kaye Show on News 104.5 WOKV.
This is News 104.5 WOKV. Wakeoff's AC brings you the 5-day forecast. When your AC breaks, they get there fast.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Here are a few quick divorce tips that we provide our clients. Number 1, don't move out of your house just because your wife tells you to. Remember, that's your house too. And number 2, don't blow through the financial statements that you file with the court. These are key exhibits, and they often make or break your case. And number 3, watch the social networking. Expect your wife's lawyer to do a thorough online search. And incidentally, this is a two-way street. Now, a bonus tip. Partner with your attorney in assembling evidence. You're one of the 2 leading experts on your life and marriage. Your attorney needs your input to achieve your goals. And finally, talk to your attorney before taking action. Good luck. By the way, unless you're in Missouri or Illinois, I'm not licensed in your state, but that's okay. Our attorneys in your state are.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Jacksonville area attorneys. Online at CordellCordell.com. Cordell & Cordell, Jacksonville, Florida. Lisa Cargus, Florida resident partner. Announcers are not licensed attorneys.
This is News 104.5 WOKV, where Jacksonville turns first for breaking news, severe weather, and traffic alerts. On air, online, on every device with the WOKV app.
Live team coverage starts now.
Good morning, Jacksonville. It's 11:30, and I'm Stephen Ponson. Our top national story: President Trump set to address farmers today, a group tied at the hip to the federal government and therefore impacted by the partial government shutdown.
I'm Jamie Dupree in Washington with the partial shutdown now in a 4th week.
I don't know what's closer to deal.
President Trump again blamed Democrats for the funding impasse.
We have drugs, we have criminals, we have gangs, and the Democrats don't want to do anything about it.
Democrats have passed 6 bills to reopen the government in the House, but Senate Republicans are refusing to vote on any of those measures.
South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham's encouraging the president to reopen the government for several weeks to continue negotiating with Democrats. Governor Ron DeSantis has named appellate judge Robert Luck to the Florida Supreme Court. Luck's the 2nd judge from Miami's appeals court to be named to the high court. We told you last week that Judge Barbara Longoa would be the first Cuban-American woman to serve there. It's unclear when DeSantis will name a 3rd replacement for the 3 retiring Supreme Court justices.
Breaking news first. This is continuing news from News 104.5 WOKV.
President Trump's denying he worked on behalf of Russia.
Not only did I never work for Russia, I think it's a disgrace that you even asked that question because it's a whole big fat hoax.
The New York Times reported over the weekend that law enforcement was so concerned about the president's loyalties in 2017 after then FBI Director James Comey was fired by the president, they began investigating whether or not that Trump was working on behalf of Russia. The president also called the firing of Comey a great service for the country because he's, quote, a bad cop. WOKV News Time's 11:32. Coming up, we're going to check your drive if you're heading out to the beaches, and more of the Mark Kaye Show next.
You're very busy, but you want to stay informed. That's why you listen for WOKV's 3 big things you need to know. On air every 15 minutes. Plus, in the WOKV app. And now, in your email. It's free every morning. To sign up, click the newsletter button on WOKV.com or in the WOKV app. Do you have glaucoma or high eye pressure? Are you forced to use daily eye drops? If so, this message may be for you. Local doctors are conducting a clinical research study of an investigational dropless therapy, and they're looking for participants right here in this area. To qualify, you must have glaucoma or high eye pressure in both eyes and have not had surgery for your glaucoma. If you qualify, you'll receive study medication at no cost, along with study-related exams by an eye doctor throughout the study. No insurance is needed, and there's no cost to participate. Compensation is available for your time and travel, but space is limited. To see if you qualify, call 844-3-MY-EYES or visit myeyecarestudy.com. If you have glaucoma or high eye pressure, don't miss out on this exciting clinical research study. Call 844-3-MY-EYES or visit myeyecarestudy.com. That's 844-3-MY-EYES or visit myeyecarestudy.com.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. You've heard us talk about it. Window World, the #1 window replacement company in the USA, selling over 1 million windows each year for the past 8 years.
That's a lot of satisfied customers, and why J.D. Powers has awarded Window World Best in Customer Satisfaction 3 out of 4 years.
Window World stands behind their slogan, simply the best for less. With Window World, you get top quality windows at a price that leaves more of your money in your bank account, and you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement industry. When compared to our competition, there is none. See for yourself. Call the competition. Get quotes from them. But before you buy, get Window World's free estimate and compare the quality of the windows and the price.
You'll see.
And when your new Window World windows are installed and they're saving you money on your energy bills, if anything goes wrong with those windows, Window World and I will be there to make it right. That's my guarantee.
Call Window World today. Start saving money on your new windows and your energy bills, and take vacation with your savings. Window World, online at windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Dr. John Moore, a chiropractor and another satisfied Good Feet customer. So, Dr. Moore, what kinds of problems were you having when you visited the Good Feet store?
Every day I would wake up and my feet would just kill me. It would just hurt so bad. It was like sharp stabbing knives in my feet. I had tried multiple things to try to treat it myself. I had this special sock, icing, massaging it. I mean, I literally tried everything I possibly could.
So how are your feet now?
100% pain-free.
Start the new year on a better foot. Come to the Good Feet store today. Call 904-570-3525. The Good Feet store is now open across from Whole Foods Market on San Jose Boulevard.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit our website at goodfeetjacksonville.com. Now open across from Whole Foods Market on San Jose Boulevard. Pain relief and comfort to fit any budget. Come in for a free test walk today.
The WOKV First Alert Forecast.
An 8 on the WOKV weather meter with a mix of clouds and sun today. It'll be cooler with highs around 60 degrees, leading to a chilly night tonight as we become mostly clear down to 39. Partly to mostly sunny tomorrow, a high near 60, but a little less wind, and then a warming trend on Wednesday starts to kick in with sunshine and highs in the mid-60s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish, who joined me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 Action News Jax.
Now, Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic.
Drivers going through the south side on the East Beltway northbound, you're free and clear. Getting from I-95 through the construction zone and up to JTB will take you 7 minutes. Headed to and from the beaches on JTB East and westbound, it's also a speed limit pace, 11 minutes between A1A and I-95. With Jacksonville's most frequent traffic, I'm Brian Riley.
Now, the 3 big things you need to know.
According to the AP, President Trump's nominee for Attorney General William Barr will tell senators that it's vitally important that Special Counsel Robert Mueller be allowed to complete his Russia investigation. Also, the AP says Barr will say that the president didn't seek any assurances or promises before nominating him. They could be on Jacksonville's west side. Baker County deputies are searching for 2 men accused of robbing someone they knew at gunpoint. You can see their photos in the free News 104.5 app. It's 11:36. I'm Stephen Ponson.
I've got to get Mark K more time on the air. Be careful what you wish for, Jacksonville. You just might get it. We want us some Mark K. Where entertaining meets informative.
You make it easier to go to work knowing I get to listen to you for 2 hours a day.
Local stories, local issues.
Just call it like it is. You are standing solid on truth. I love your show, brother.
This is the Mark K Show on News 104.5 WOKV.
By the way, quick NFL update. I know a lot of people gave up football when they started kneeling on the ground. So let me just point out something interesting that happened in the NFL yesterday, and really over the past 2 days. The 2 oldest quarterbacks currently playing in the NFL. Drew Brees and Tom Brady are headed to their respective championship games, and they're playing against the two youngest quarterbacks currently. Well, I guess Sam Darnold is younger. That doesn't matter, but he sucks. Patrick Mahomes and Jared Goff. So it's really going to be the fact that Tom Brady, who's like 40, 41, and Drew Brees, who turns 40 this week. You're going to have two 40-year-old men quarterbacking two teams that are hoping to go to the Super Bowl, and they could actually both end up there, which is wild. So that whole thing about was it old white men being worthless? That's not true. That's not true. They're doing okay. 855-765-1045. Let's get back to you guys. Have been waiting very patiently to talk about this religious legislation that would require Florida to offer secular courses in religion, Hebrew scriptures, and the Bible as electives. Not required to graduate, as electives. We've got a fiery conversation going on Twitch, one going on Facebook, and we've got all your calls that we got to get to right now. Brian on the West Side, thanks so much for holding. How are you, Brian?
Hey, good. I'm an atheist, but I don't care if you have it or not. But I'm just saying the kids are going to find something new to fight about. My religion's better than your religion. And there'll be holy wars in the school.
Holy wars.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I hope to God, no pun intended, not to offend you, that doesn't happen. But don't you think that maybe teaching religion would teach sensitivity instead?
You think so, but then they would teach Islam, and then they would, you never know. They might become ISIS in the school.
Well, hopefully that there it is. Wait for that. Hey, thanks so much for calling. We really appreciate it. John, thanks so much for calling the Mark K Show. How are you, John?
Thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely. What do you want to say about these religious electives?
My position is it's all about the budget. We already spend more per student, I think, than any other country in the world to get the least amount of education they get. We need to concentrate more on reading, writing, and arithmetic and less on electives. If you wanted religion, go to the church of your choice. They're free. They're not paid for by taxpayers' dollars.
That is true. That is a great point you bring up. Look, a religious education is already free. You can walk into any church, any synagogue in America, any other religious building and get a free education. Say, hey, I want to convert, or hey, I want to see what it's all about. You can go to church every Sunday, sit there and listen, and they will teach you all about God and the Bible and the Psalms. And at the Catholic Church, it'll be all about the Holy Trinity and the Virgin Mary and all that stuff. You're right. I mean, they're going to pass the basket, and they're going to give you dirty looks if you don't start throwing something in there, but technically it's not required. That's a great point. This is a true story. We went to a digitized system of payment at my church a few years ago. It's like, now it's like direct deposit. So basically what happens is the other Josh is like, no, you don't swipe it. It's not like chip in, boop, boop, boop. No, they basically are like, give us your bank account and we'll just deduct it every month. Like auto bill pay. And so we signed up for that, and they go, it's better for us because we're going to. So now when the collection basket comes around, I just ignore it because I'm like, look, you're already taking the money. But the first couple weeks it happened, and a lot of people aren't savvy to the fact that the church now has direct deposit for your tithing, that you can digitally tithe as soon as you get paid. A lot of people don't know that. So they see you in there every week. The collection basket goes around, you just look at it and hand it on, and they start giving you dirty looks like, I see you in here drinking all that wine every week. You don't think you could throw a $5 in the basket? And they had little printed off cards that they would send you, and you could throw the card in the basket to let people, like I deposited online or I donated online or something like that. But to me, that's just a waste of money. If I'm donating the money for you to go help people, not to print out cards so that I feel better about myself. 855-765-1045 is the number. Jamie and Mandarin, thanks for calling the Mark K Show. What do you want to say about these religious electives?
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely.
First, they have been a part of our school system for many years. They've only stopped teaching them within the past 10 and only taken the course codes off. The records are off the CPOMs within the last 5 years. So this isn't new. This is just she's bringing it back.
When did they teach religion in schools? I didn't know they did that.
Oh, yes. You've always been able to take world religion. You've always been able to take Hebrew or Judaism. You've always been able to do that. I'm 40-something.
Yeah.
It was in my school, and I lived in a very poor community.
Yeah.
It was still in my school then. But they had a choice if they wanted to teach that. Our teachers now, our educators now choose not to, but that's always been a choice. And I was a public school, private school, and a homeschool mom. in which I had to look at CPOM. So I saw them there. This is not a new thing.
All right. Hey, thanks so much for calling. We appreciate it. She was way too intellectual for me. I don't know what she was. Sea palm? I don't know what that is. Is that like a palm tree that grows by the ocean? 855-765-1045. I remember they did have, when I was in school, it wasn't a class, but they had something called the FCA, which was the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And I went, which was funny because I didn't play any sports, but it was basically not even athlete. It was just anybody could go, and they had a bunch of guys with guitars, and they would sing Jesus songs and read scripture and stuff like that. It was nice. It was very nice. You know, I went because there was a girl I was interested in. She went, and she invited me, and then I realized, you know, the girls in the FCA, they're not really, they're tougher to. You know, never mind. 855. I didn't want the religious girls when I was in high school. It wasn't until much later that I. Chris on the South Side. How are you?
Good, sir.
Oh, good, Chris. What do you want to say?
Just to start with, I'm agnostic.
Okay.
And I have no problem with this, especially your point. The greatest point is that it's an elective. It's up to you to take it or not. But even as an agnostic, you know, it kind of falls under history for the most part, and to be more knowledgeable only helps both sides. And this is where, you know, again, both sides of the fence are taking stern standpoints for no reason. You know, it's a unarguable point when it gets down to the basics of it, and it doesn't affect or hurt anybody, and it gives both sides the chance for more knowledge. If you're agnostic or if you're atheist, you can take up the points on both sides, whatever you learn, and use it to your advantage.
Let me touch on, and thank you so much for the call, and I appreciate you sharing that info. There is something you touched on that I think is kind of being lost in this whole thing, that when you look at the English classes and when you look at the history classes, there is a lot of religious history. For example, I remember I took English in school, and we read the Canterbury Tales, which is littered with like religious stuff. We read the Divine Comedy, which is all about hell and heaven and Adam and Eve and all that kind of stuff. We had to read all that stuff. So there was a lot of religious education. You know, we read parts of the book of Genesis as English study. And then in history, of course, when you look back at the Crusades or even, you know, some of the world wars, you know, things like that, when you look at all of the, you know, the discovery of the United States of America and some of the wars that broke out as a result. Even the Civil War, we talked about the religious differences when it came to slavery and the religious implications and how could Christians believe that, you know, holding slaves was something. All of that I remember bleeding into history and English and, you know, and some other subjects. But it wasn't necessarily the spirituality of the religion. It was more basically, hey, this was a part of our history. This is a part of our English language. There you go. You should probably know something about it. When you talk about, I believe, these secular classes, you're talking more about divinity and God and Jesus and Allah and whatever else. And you're really showing people what it means to spiritually live this religious life. I assume, I have no idea. I mean, I barely remember in my actual classes that I had to take, let alone any elective. Ask me one elective I took in high school. I can barely name. I don't even know. I know I must have taken something. Maybe it was Spanish. Maybe Spanish was an elective. Yo no sé. 855-765-1045. Yo no recuerdo mi escuela. 855-76. Well, I must have taken Spanish because obviously I remember some of it. 855-765-1045 is the number. Quick break. More of your phone calls and open mic messages coming up. This is the Mark K Show on News 104.5 WOKV.
What is relevant, informative, entertaining, connected, funny, and interactive? Well, Lee checks most of those boxes. This is the Mark K Show on News 104.5 WOKV.
Now, the three big things you need to know.
The AP says President Trump's nominee for Attorney General William Barr will tell senators that the president didn't seek any assurances or promises before nominating him. The AP also says that Barr will say that the special counsel Robert Mueller should be allowed to complete the Russia investigation. President Trump's denying that he worked for Russia after a New York Times report said the FBI opened an investigation into whether he was being influenced by them after FBI Director James Comey was fired. Why the president says Comey's firing was a great service to the U.S. Jacksonville's News at Noon in less than 10 minutes.
This time of year, a few hours can mean the difference between sunny and cool or severe thunderstorms. I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Get my first alert forecast every 6 minutes in the morning. Weekdays starting at 5 a.m. on Jacksonville's Morning News on News 104.5 WOKV.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Here's some straight talk. Sometimes I hear about a person injured on the job or in a car crash, and then I hear they hired so-and-so lawyer, and then I cringe. Over 30 years, I've gotten to know a lot of these lawyers. Some even used to work for me. While you often have to make a quick decision after an injury, it's also one of the most important decisions of your life. I've seen what we do, and I've seen what they do. I know the only firm I would hire after an injury is Morgan & Morgan. Our track record of billions and billions and billions of dollars. $1 billion recovered last year alone. If you've been injured, you can reach us by dialing pound law on your cell phone. Pound law, that's all. It's so easy to remember and even easier to get in touch with us. Just dial pound 529 on your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Offices, Jacksonville.
Thinning or balding hair? IHRS can now stimulate hair growth and reverse thinning hair for both men and women by using your own stem cells through platelet-rich plasma treatments. You will obtain rapid new hair growth through your own stem cells by using your own blood through platelet-rich plasma. This is a safe and easy procedure with no downtime. Now you can stimulate hair growth and obtain healthier and more hair as early as 3 months after one treatment. For more information, call IHRS at 904-731-7331. That's 904-731-7331. Results may vary. Now you can stimulate hair growth and reverse thinning hair by using your own hair stem cells through platelet-rich plasma in your frontal hairline, crown area, and entire top of your head. This is a safe and easy procedure with no downtime. For more information, call 904-731-7331. That's 731-7331.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Capel here, serial entrepreneur. In 2016, one of my employees accidentally clicked through an online vendor's contract, which recommitted my company to an additional 12 months of their service. I called the vendor to explain the accident. Nope, they pointed to their ironclad contract, told me to pay or else. I will pay them, but after 12 months, I'm gone. I've been in business over 30 years, and I've never made my customers sign a long-term contract. Never. And now, my fifth successful company, Patriot Software, offers payroll to business owners with 1 to 100 employees, and there's no long-term contract. And if you need help with your payroll, we will help you for free. Go to patriotsoftware.com, use promo code RADIO, and get 2 months of payroll free. That's patriotsoftware.com.
WOKV FM Atlantic Beach, powered by New South Factory Direct Windows. Listen everywhere in the TuneIn Radio app. News 104.5 WOKV, a Cox Media Group station.
Have you ever wanted to speak another language? Whether you want to speak Spanish, French, or German, Babbel's 10 to 15-minute lessons can get you speaking confidently in your new language within weeks.
I just started learning Spanish with Babbel, and it's really helping me with my pronunciation.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres? Haha, I got it. I'm amazed how confidently I speak Spanish now. I wish I had tried Babbel sooner.
Babbel's award-winning technology gets you speaking right away. And best of all, you'll remember what you've learned. No wonder Babbel is the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Try it for yourself and see why Babbel is the quick way to get conversational in a new language, like Spanish, German, Portuguese, and more. You can try Babbel for free. Go to Babbel.com or download the app and try it for free. That's Babbel, Babbel.com, or download the app to try it for free. That's Babbel.com.
Now, the WOKV First Alert Forecast.
Makes it cloudy and sun around 60 degrees, a little breezy and cool today. It's an 8 on the WOKV weather meter, clearing and down to 39 tonight. It'll be pretty chilly, partly to mostly sunny tomorrow, the high near 60. Then a little bit milder Wednesday with sunshine, pushing temperatures into the mid-60s. With your First Alert Forecast, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish for News 104.5 WOKV.
Now, Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic.
There's a crash on I-95 northbound at the exit for Bowden. It's over on the left shoulder, not causing any delays getting by there. 7 minutes will get you from JTB over the Fuller Warren Bridge and to the I-10 split. Continuing on 95 northbound going to the airport, it's also a delay-free drive. Getting from the I-10 split over the Trout River and up to Airport Road will take you 10 minutes. With Jacksonville's most frequent traffic, I'm Brian Riley.
Hey, it's Mark K from The Mark K Show. We've got a brand new studio and a brand new phone number. Write this down. 855-765-1045. That's 855-765-1045. If you want to get through to The Mark K Show, that's the number you have to use. This is The Mark K Show. My name's Mark K. Thank you so much for joining us. Getting a lot of open mics about these electives for religious classes in public schools. If you want to send one in, you can do it in our News 104.5 open mic feature on our app.
Hey, Mark K. Stop calling them public schools and call them what they are. They're government schools.
My mistake. Government schools. If they were government schools, wouldn't you think they teach you about the government? Maybe not.
As far as doing the religion thing in the schools, really, what's the worst that can happen? The kids actually get, I don't know, morals, a little bit of value, maybe.
But it's only here's the issue I have with that. It's not mandatory because what that means is that the kids that are interested already in taking the elective religious classes are going to go in there and learn the moral value systems that those religious education classes are going to teach. So you still have an issue. If it were mandatory, yeah, you might have less. Like this one woman left us an open mic message and said it's going to bring down school violence.
Kids need to have religion in the school to learn thou shalt not kill and other commandments that's listed in the Bible. Maybe it'll help stop some of this violence that's going on in the schools today.
I'll tell you that, and that's maybe true if it's mandatory or if you're requiring it for graduation. If you can force the kids to learn not to be, not to be buttheads, but you can't. I mean, this is an elective. It's never going to be something that's mandatory, and if it is, it's never going to be taught properly anyway in the government school system. But if you do something like, for example, I'm a big proponent of mandatory conscription. I've said this before. You should be required when you graduate high school to spend 3 months, 6 months, some number of months in the Army, in the Navy, in the Air Force, in the Marine Corps, in the Coast Guard. There's just a 3 months mandatory conscription to teach you how to use a weapon, to teach you how to, work in a unit, to teach you how to respect authority, to teach you about the government in the United States of America, and to teach you, American pride, to teach you the value of life. A lot of people don't realize this. They think that people that go into the military don't value life or they just want to kill people. No, they don't. You actually come out of the military a lot of times valuing life even more because you see and witness and learn firsthand how fragile it is. And when you understand how to use a weapon, you're more likely not to use it or to use it properly. I remember when I went to Switzerland when I was in right after high school. We had like a class trip, and I begged my parents to go, and they sent me to Switzerland. They sent me to like Europe, and we stopped in Switzerland for like 2 days. And we got off the bus, and our bus pulled up in a big bus parking lot in the middle of this town, and another bus pulled up next to us, and all these teenagers, like my age, I was 17 years old. All these teenagers my age started getting off of the bus, and they were meeting their parents, and they all were dressed in their United colors of Benetton or whatever was popular back then, and they all had their knapsacks on their JanSport bags and things, and they were all carrying M16 machine guns. And it was a really bizarre sight to see. And I turned to our tour guide and I said to her, I go, what's with all the kids carrying the guns off the bus? And she goes, oh, they're getting back from camp or whatever. I think it was like camp. But when you graduate in Switzerland, you spend the summer learning how to be in the military. I mean, that's why no one invades Switzerland. Nobody invades Switzerland because they know everybody has a gun in their closet. Everyone who's over the age of 16 or 17 or 18, everyone who's graduated high school goes off to the Army. They learn, they train for 3 months. They go home with a gun, and you're not going to invade a country where everybody's armed. That's why there's such a low crime rate. That's why the banks are so safe. There's so much benefit to some kind of mandatory conscription that I imagine there would be some benefit to an elective religion class, but nothing like if you when you force it down someone's throat. 855-765-1045 is the number. Real quick, Luann from Arlington. How are you, Luann? What do you want to say?
Wonderful. How are you today?
Good.
Good. Well, I'm looking at both sides of the coin. When I was in high school, yes, taking a foreign language was an elective. Now, it's not necessarily an elective now. You have to take a foreign language, but you can choose which foreign language you want to take. So in order to graduate high school, and most, like that gentleman said, which I love it, they're government schools, not public schools, and to get into college, which I agree with you wholeheartedly on your look at colleges.
Right.
You're 100% correct. However, in order to even get in colleges, you have to take a foreign language now. You only get to pick. So who's to say that the same thing's not going to morph? Right now, it is an elective, let's say. The religion's an elective. But later on, let's say 10 years from now, 20 years from now, that you may choose. You have to take a religious course, but you can just choose which religion to take.
Interesting.
Say it's not going to morph the same way.
That's interesting. You know what? That's interesting, too. And I remember the same. You're right. You're absolutely right. You have to take an elective, but one of them has to be a foreign language. And I remember back when I was in high school, I took Spanish. And then I was talking to a high school student just last year, and they said, I have to take a foreign language. And I said, well, what are you taking? They said, French. And I said, why do you take Spanish? And they said, because I have to take a foreign language. Okay, good. And on that note, 855-765-1045. We're Adam Kirk's laughing. You can't see it, but he is. Coming up, Donald Trump. Hell, he's going to be talking to farmers. This is going to be an interesting day for Donald Trump. Talking to farmers, trying to get them to back him with the government shutdown. They're one of the hardest groups hit. I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about that tomorrow as the government shutdown day 25 looms in the not too distant future. Stay tuned. The news and Rush Limbaugh is coming up next on News 104.5 WOKV.
This is News 104.5 WOKV, where Jacksonville turns first for breaking news, severe weather, and traffic alerts. On air, online, on every device with the